Amazing when you look back at history, you can see how some things aged like milk, especially when it comes to thoughts about science. Just listen to this gem from the leaders of the Catholic Church in 1633.
We pronounce, judge, and declare that you, Galileo, have rendered yourself vehemently suspected by this holy office of heresy. That is, of having believed and held the doctrine which is false and contrary to the holy and divine scriptures, that the sun is the center of the world and that it does not move from east to west.
Except it does. Thankfully, it was only a matter of time until that all got sorted out. And now Galileo is regarded as one of the greatest scientific minds of all time. Of course, that sounds like everyone on this list so far, so we're gonna focus on what exactly made Galileo so unique. Galileo was an astronomer, a physicist, and a mathematician, but also a rebel and a heretic because of his belief that the Earth revolved around the sun and not the other way around. Of course, at the time, just about everybody thought the Earth was the center of everything, and there was no conclusive proof otherwise. But Galileo didn't present his theory as a scientific theory, but the God-honest truth, and the church felt he was venturing a little too close into theology for their comfort. Today, you might say, like, who cares what the church thinks? But not back then. The church had all the power, and it was usually best to have them on your side. But in spite of what the church thought of him, Galileo was a devout Christian who believed that the study of nature was a means of understanding God's creation. According to Galileo, God gave us the ability to reason and investigate, and science is simply the expression of this God-given gift. Galileo made numerous groundbreaking contributions to the field of science, including the development of the telescope, which enabled him to make detailed observations of planets and stars. He also established the concept of inertia, a fundamental building block for Sir Isaac Newton's laws of motion. He's particularly famous for his telescope observations of the night sky, which revealed the phases of Venus, Jupiter's 4 largest moons, and even sunspots. His book, Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, presents arguments for both the geocentric, Earth-centered, and the heliocentric, sun-centered models for the universe, with statements like mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe. You get the feeling science and faith were tightly woven inside his brilliant mind. In 1632, Galileo Galilei was summoned to Rome for a trial by the Inquisition, where he argued that scientific research and Christianity were not incompatible, and that the study of nature could enhance understanding of Scripture. No surprise, his views were deemed false and erroneous. Faced with the great threat of torture, the aging and ill Galileo recanted on April 30th, 1633. Instead of imprisonment, he was allowed to serve his sentence at home in Siena. According to legend, as he stood up after recanting, Galileo whispered, "Still it moves." He just had to have the last word. Galileo changed the way people think about the natural world and the relationship between science and religion. His discoveries and ideas were crucial in the development of modern science and laid the foundation for the work of scientists like Isaac Newton. I guess that makes Galileo kind of the OG astronomer, which is pretty cool.